Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. We're going to start with some exciting times here at Northern News Now. We have a brand new weekend sports anchor and reporting here at the station. Everyone, please welcome Yasmin Shah. Yasmin, welcome to the team. How you been?
Thank you. I'm so good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. So now here in Duluth, working for Northern News Now.
Yes.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from downtown Chicago. I've moved 8 or 9 times in my life ever but the East Coast, but I am a downtown Chicago girl.
Is Chicago maybe your favorite place that you've ever lived?
For sure, it's the best city.
Until Duluth, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Chicago, likely a Bears fan?
100%.
100% a Bears fan. How about
100%.
baseball?
Yeah, Cubs maybe?
Cubs, all the
Okay.
way Cubs. No Sox
Wrigley?
fan here.
Okay,
Wow.
Blackhawks?
Blackhawks.
Okay,
Okay.
and then what sport are we missing?
Bulls.
Bulls.
The Bulls,
Oh, yeah.
of course. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
I don't know anybody who's been on that in the past 5 years, but yeah, that's fantastic. So we got to win you over to be a Vikings fan. By the end of this, that's our goal, is to make you a Minnesota Vikings fan. Do you think that's going to happen?
It's gonna be a tough one, and then, Dad, if you're watching this, if anything happens, I can't control this. It's their fault, but don't blame me.
That's our goal.
From Chicago, where did you go to college then?
I went to college at the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
Okay, go
Yeah.
Blue.
And have you had any experience here in Duluth? Have you been to Duluth before? Have you heard of Duluth?
I've
Is this the first time?
I've never been to Duluth before. I've heard of Duluth actually because UMD just played my alma mater.
Oh, yes.
So, yes,
And
yes.
yes, that's fantastic. What do you think of Duluth so far? First impressions of our city here.
People always say Midwestern nice is the thing. Minnesota nice is the thing.
Yes.
Everyone here is so nice. Everyone is so open to like meeting to me, talking to me, helping me out wherever. I'm the nicest people I've ever met.
That's awesome.
And Yasmin, we're very looking forward to having you on our sports team here at
Yes.
Northern News Now. We have an awesome team. Glad that you're the newest addition to that. But we got to talk about, you have been working for the Big Ten Sports
Yes.
Network. What has that been like? That must have been a cool opportunity.
It was so fun. I started the fall of my freshman year and just got right on the camera getting reps in. It was super fun. I got to cover every single sport. I grew up in a Big Ten family. My brother went to Ohio State. My sister went to Indiana. So I had to
Wow.
continue the tradition, and I love covering big-time teams in a big-time conference.
You're used to winning, which is
I love winning.
fantastic.
That's a tough household then. If
Dude,
your
that
brother
is
went to
it
Ohio
is.
State and you went to Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
some
my gosh.
fighting, yeah.
Yes. Do you have
sure.
any exciting moments that come to mind, memorable? I know there's a lot of moments that you've probably had so far, but maybe a couple or one big moment that you remember.
Well, Michigan won 2 natties while I was at school in football, and we recently just won in basketball. So rushing the streets, just going out there, seeing everyone. We lined up at 9 p.m. the night before for a 9 p.m. game the day after.
Wow.
So we
That's
were locked in
insane.
with our tents, blankets, and everything. It was so fun.
Oh my gosh! I suppose J.J. McCarthy, Viking,
Oh, I didn't think about that.
helped him win the national championship.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That's going to be your rope into getting into the Vikings fan
That's my
base
tie,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I-
you're very passionate about sports, obviously. Obviously, super cool working for the Big Ten. What's maybe something that the folks out there should know that you're passionate about outside of work?
I'm super into the gym and super into working out, being outside in nature, which is something that really draws me to Duluth. Well, there's a lot of hiking, the beaches, the parks, everything is so fun about it. I also love to cook and bake.
Oh.
So I will be bringing in things all the time for people to try. I love it.
That's what
I
I'm
need people to
talking
try my
about.
stuff.
That'd be
Yeah.
great. What's maybe your favorite thing to bake?
I'm a big cookie person. When it comes to Christmas time, everyone's getting a cookie tin.
Oh, there we go.
Everybody.
Everyone.
Good news.
Oh my gosh. So being from Chicago, you must not be a stranger to winter either.
No.
Do you have a favorite outdoor winter activity or anything that you're looking forward to now that you're here in a more maybe hilly area or something like
Yeah,
that?
I want to learn how to ski, like downhill skiing. In elementary school, I lived in a suburb in Chicago. We had cross-country skiing as a PE unit, so I've done that, but I want to learn how to downhill ski.
Okay,
Oh my
it's,
gosh.
Yeah.
it's so much fun. He just learned for the first time a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it is. It's challenging. It's
It
challenging.
is.
It's scary too. So
Yes.
baby steps. You know, that's
Amen.
another thing too to learn
Near
about
the bunny hills.
Yeah. You learn that about Duluthians that start at like the age of 1.
Yeah,
And so you're already
seriously.
20 some years behind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe first impressions. What have you noticed, or maybe surprised you about our area in the Northland so far?
It's very windy. I come from the Windy City, but I was walking on the little lake walk around Canal Park, and I was getting blown away. So that's something that I really did blow me away.
The
Yeah,
beauty
that
of the
surprised
Northland.
me. Yeah, and it's just so pretty here. I love it. It's nice small town vibes.
Yeah. Are you yourself an athlete? Have you been in sports before? And do you have a favorite sport that you've played?
Yeah, I ran track in high school, and that was something I did all growing up. My parents all did it, so I was super into that.
What was your specific relays or anything like
I
that?
did the 400 meter, which I think is the
Wow.
hardest event because
Yeah.
you can't. It's like you have to sprint the whole time. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like at the end, you're just dead.
That's a long way.
The
Even
lactic
just-
acid.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Just
yeah.
one way around. Here's the Chicago thing. I got a Chicago question for you. We were talking about this the other day. Do Chicagoans?
Yeah.
Did I say it?
Chicago.
They don't like ketchup on their hot dogs. Is that correct?
That is true.
Okay.
At Guaranteed Rate Field, there's actually a bell that you ring if you get ketchup to acknowledge that you're an outsider.
See? I was trying to explain that to Hunter. I'm
That
like,
makes sense.
I think it's just mustard is what they go for.
Just
Wow.
mustard. Yeah.
If you had to make a perfect dog, what would be your favorite toppings to put on there?
Ketchup.
You like ketchup? You break the
no.
mold. Oh no! Ring the bell.
Ketchup, mustard, some onion, some relish, and I like the pickle slices. I do like the pickle slices.
Those are
good.
really
Those are
good.
good. The
Yes.
celery salt.
I like a full Chicago dog.
Yeah, yeah.
And a poppy seed
Yeah.
bun. It's pretty good.
Oh
pretty
my
good.
gosh! So you elevated yourself because you love sports and everything like that. But what made you want to actually cover sports? What got you into this career?
Yeah, when I was little, I would never shut up. I always talking, always talking. I have a twin sister who's the exact opposite,
Oh.
and so my dad was just like, this girl loves sports. I have a brother and a sister, and they're not into sports at all. So my dad made me his son, and I became like the blueprint for watching with him, going to games. So I got into that, and he's like, you never stop talking. All you do is talk about sports. So why not make a career out of it? And I was like, of course.
Perfect.
It's like, okay, like I can do that.
That's the perfect push. And then what do you hope to accomplish here in Duluth during your time, especially on the weekends when folks can find you on our 6 and 10 p.m. broadcast?
Yeah, I really just want to be able to connect with the community and give people a story like beyond the highlights, beyond what you could find on the internet, and give a deep connection between those athletes, the community, and the teams, and get people really interested in what's going on because we have really good teams here in the community.
Hey, Yasmin Shah here on the weekends here on Northern News Now. Yasmin, welcome to the team. Appreciate
Thank
you
you. I'm
stopping
so
by.
happy to be here.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Hunter, you're going to learn a lot about Chicago too.
Here we go.
In the coming months
I'm
here.
in.
So
Yeah.
appreciate you stopping by. Hey, coming up here, we got another Northern News Now team member, Dan Wolf, going to be joining the show here, talking more about tonight's special report at 10. We'll see you in a little bit.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Tonight we have another special report here airing on Northern News Now at 10, and here to share more about it is our evening anchor, Dan Wolf. Welcome back here, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, guys.
Yes.
Getting ready for that big story airing tonight.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at what Dan is bringing us tonight here on Northern News Now at 10 o'clock.
1 year after one of the most destructive Northland wildfires in decades, the scars are still clear as day.
It's just like it's gone. It's all gone.
But the neighborly recovery in one town is serving as a region-wide inspiration.
And the people here are so strong, and that's why I fight so hard for it.
A Northern News Now special report from the ashes tonight at 10.
You know, Dan, hard to believe it's been a year
I know.
since the Camp House fire and all that coverage that we had. So before we get into talking about tonight's story, what can you tell us about what was going through all the work here at this station last year?
You know, it was just a reactionary. It was Mother's Day last year. It was a Sunday that the fires broke out. And so, you know, on weekends, we have lighter staff around here. I was out fishing. It's also fishing opener weekend.
yeah.
Mother's Day is far more important, to be clear.
Of course.
Yeah, so Sunday, it was the weekend crew did a great job reacting to when the fire broke out, and then it exploded in size that Monday, the 12th. And you know, we had team coverage out in the field. We had reporters out there relaying back information. We were doing live hits with the sheriff, alerting people to evacuations and all of that. So, you know, from a news perspective, it was one of the big stories we've covered around here in the last decade.
Definitely. And can you talk about some of the memories of when it was happening, what exactly you were looking for, and everything along those lines when the original story happened?
Yeah, when the original story happened, you know, there were a lot of wildfires around that time, brush fires, grass
Yes.
fires. You don't know, is this going to be another 1 acre fire that they have put out in a matter of minutes? Or is this going to be 10 acres or whatever? You know, we hear constant grass fires this time of year on the scanner. I guarantee there's a couple happening right now somewhere in the Northland. This one grew and grew and grew, and then when you start seeing the DNR getting involved from the air, and you start hearing about evacuations, you're like, okay, this is the real deal. This is a big one. All hands on deck.
And then fast forward to today, to now in tonight's special report. What did you want to cover specifically when it came to this year anniversary after the Camp House fire?
Yeah, well, 1 year later, want to see how the community's recovering. We had all of our state and federal lawmakers go to Brimson, actually even before the fire was put out, and say, hey, we're going to be here for you. We're going to give you millions of dollars, full FEMA recovery. We've got this. We're going to rally around you. And I wanted to follow through and see if that was the case. And it turns out when it comes to individuals and private property, the people living there say they've not really seen much in the way of help from our government at all.
And then it sounds like community members are then the ones that have to fill those holes, at least for the current moment.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, Brimson, you know.
Yes.
You are from there.
Yep,
originally.
exactly.
I mean, people have rallied around each other, said, okay, you can't afford this, you know, hauling out trees and debris and things from your property. We've got you. We're going to come in. We're going to volunteer and do it. And it even goes as far as one resident in particular who stepped up and started a nonprofit to get funds and other help to fire victims, which has been incredible.
It's pretty amazing. It's still very eerie driving up there and seeing. It's cool to see the green and everything slowly coming back and some of the properties, but still a lot of properties up there that have not come back. A lot of folks up there that are still struggling, unfortunately. Can you talk about maybe a couple people in particular that you talked to with this more recent story and what they had to say about this?
I talked to Diane Knafla. She lost her home. It was an old homestead dating back to the early 1900s. That a Finnish family built and found back then. She'd lived there for 33 years. The fire came tearing into her property, and she made it out just in time with mostly just the clothes on her back, and lost everything. And it's amazing. She has, I want to say, 20 acres, 30 acres, something like that. Now you pull up to her property. It's right off, I believe, Brimson Road, and you see her new trailer and field. Where there was 1,500 pine trees. It's just field. There's nothing else there. It is the most eerie post-wildfire thing I've seen. And so we focus a little bit on the help that was provided to her by community members and some of the cleanup efforts that she's still got going on.
And it must have been cool to, seeing these people, you know, at the lowest moments of their lives, with such destruction, it must still be kind of cool to see this resiliency across the Brimson community.
It is. You know, $30,000 is what most people who lost their homes had to pay out of pocket, not even insurance helping, when it comes to replacing or building a new septic. $30,000 plus to haul out debris as well, and all those trees and everything else, sometimes north of $30,000. So for community members to say, look, we don't want you to have to pay all that money. We don't want you to do this. We're going to help you out in every way we can. And we saw that in spades there in the community of Brimson.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, be sure to stop by 10 p.m. tonight here on Northern News Now for Dan Wolf's special report. Also, be sure to follow Dan on Facebook. A lot of great updates over there. Dan, appreciate you stopping by and chatting with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course. Well, hey, coming up after the break, Hunter McCullough over here, continuing Northern Legacy. We'll see you in a little bit.
Northern Legacy on Northern Life is brought to you by Dahlberg Law.
Welcome back, folks. It's time for another edition here with attorney Chris Dahlberg. Thank you so much for joining us here once again.
Good to be back.
And so we talked last time about probate itself. And now, of course, we touch on having a will versus not having a will. So if you have a will, everything's laid out. How does this process begin? How does it start? And how does it carry out?
Yeah, if you have a will, and here's the thing is, people say, well, I've got a will, I know I have to do probate, or in this case, can I do it on my own? And you can, and it's just, the issue is it's really what I call formalistic. I mean, there's all of these steps you have to do, and then the frustration is, if you don't do it right, you might have to go back to square one, and it just takes a while. But what happens is with probate, where you have a will and is dying with a will, first you do a petition and you say, okay, the decedent, and that's the person who died, and usually it's a parent, they said they passed away and I'm named in the will, and that means you have priority if you're named in the will. Now sometimes there's two people named in the will. The first one says if this person is named, but if they can't do it, then another, and we have cases where the first executor, they call it, or the personal representative dies. So then they look at the next one, but that's called the priority. And so their process is they do a petition, they file it with the court, and part of the whole thing is they have to list all interested parties. Now you might imagine who the interested parties were, right?
Sure.
You think it's going to be the family members.
Yep.
So parent dies, even though you might be the one child that's the executor, you got to list all your siblings. And what happens if a child predeceases one of your siblings? You got to list them too as an interested party. Now, interested parties also there, it's defined by statute. So it would also include creditors. So if you know that there's a lien on a house, or if you know that there's credit cards or something like that, you're supposed to list that. And a lot of times these credit card companies and all that, they know quicker than the family does that the person's died. They're like,
course.
okay, here I am.
Here we go. Getting my money. Yep, exactly.
So you file that, and then part of the thing is the court's going to send you, as soon as you file it, they're going to say, okay, here's your hearing date. And they put it out far enough, because one of the rules you have to do is publish in the local newspaper. It's a legal publication. And 2 times in a row you have to publish it. You have to do an affidavit of publication showing that you published that. So when you first get the court date, they give you the date, then you publish that in the newspaper saying, on such and such a date, this estate of will be heard. And then after that's done, they have the hearing. Well, the hearing is, you got right next to me, here's this computer, and I pop up here, you got the Zoom screen, and everybody's doing Zoom. And so what happens is, they're on Zoom, but I, as the attorney, when I do the filing, most of the time it's a non-appearance, because unless somebody's objecting, we're just going to get the order that day, and it just comes to us saying, okay, here you go. So then the executor gets what's called letters testamentary. They're in charge, and they go forward and they marshal in the assets. And you might think of what marshaling assets are, right? Well, I mean, what do you think the typical assets are?
I would assume when it comes to like a house or a car or things like that, anything that's big that somebody might have owned in the previous life.
And when you're marshaling it in, and that's part of the petition originally, you're just doing a ballpark. So it's not legally, you're held down to, you say, the house is worth about this much. I think they have bank accounts of this. They have a couple cars worth this. You got the push lawnmower in the garage, the old-fashioned one and all that. Yep. And so you list that. And so then what you do is after that you marshal in the assets. You're going to be liquidating them. You open up a bank account with a tax number. We can get that for you. And then you just end up, you look at the will and say, okay, and if it goes out to the 3 kids or whatever, say, here it goes, and you finish it up. But that's kind of the quick and down and dirty of the probate process with a will.
Yes, that's a lot of information to fill in. That's perfect, though.
I just gave you a drink of water through a fire hose, right?
A lot of information there, but I like that a lot, definitely. And next time we talk, we're going to be talking more about what happens when you don't have a will.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes, exactly. Well, when we see you here tomorrow, we're going to be inviting Art and the Alley down in the studio here. They're going to be getting ready for a spring fashion show at the Miller Hill Mall. We're going to be talking about their celebration and the chance to purchase one-of-a-kind clothing. Very unique there, Ryan.
Yeah, how about a fashion show? Always a good time. So be sure, if you don't have any weekend plans right now, I'm sure the weather's going to be nice. Just walk outside and go party.
That's beautiful. Do you ever buy new stuff and then you do like a fashion show in front of your
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
do you ever do that?
So we take it home. It's like try it on.
Yes, exactly.
That's especially been the case with preparing for this wedding.
Oh,
trying on different suits, and that gets shipped to the house, and then you send it back. So.
Have you found one yet, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think in the next couple day or two.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's coming to it.
Wow.
Well, after the show here, grab your phone or your laptop or your iPad, head to northernnewsnow.com and click on that Northern Life tab and find our newest episode of Northern Life Online. There, Hunter here has to explain what problems he has exactly when it comes to Gilligan's Island.
You put me on Gilligan's head? Oh my gosh, the worst
show. Don't you love Gilligan? I guess we're going to stick around and find out.
Yeah, you'll see why I see it's the worst show in history.
Wow.
By a long shot.
That's not high praise.
No, it's not high praise. Very low praise on my part, but you'll have to head over and find out what it's all about for sure. Thank you for joining us here today. We love you so much.
We'll see you online and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.